The holidays have quickly approached us, and ready or not, they're going to be here soon. And it's this time of year where you might be gifting that special somebody a Game Boy game, or maybe you're hoping to receive a Game Boy game this year. I want to share two quick tips to make sure that game you give is as perfect as it can be for the recipient. These work for other cartridge based games, but I myself am giving some Game Boy games out this year, and I want to make sure that they work flawlessly. Mostly because I'm giving them my kids, and if there's any issues, they're just going to come to me anyway. So let's take the time and do it right now. So two things. One, takes no tools. You do it with stuff you have around the house. The other, you're probably going to need a soldering iron. So let's get to the bench, and I'll show you my tips. So like I said, these will work on any cartridge-based games. The first tip especially. So I'm going to look at Wario Land here for the Game Boy, and you got to understand, right? There's a circuit board in here. There's a PCB in here, and when you plug it into the Game Boy, these contacts here complete the circuit, and that's how everything works. So if they can't read these pins, or if they're dirty, corroded, or anything else, it's going to become very difficult, if not impossible, for the game to function. So just get some isopropyl alcohol. The highest percentage you can get, the better. This is 91%. I got this at CVS. You can get higher. That might be a special order, but this works perfectly well. So you're just going to get it on the Q-tip. You don't want too much. Maybe get some excess off. And just go back and forth across those pins. I like to spin the Q-tip as I do it. And look at that. That's dirty, right? There is some definite black marks on there. And then I go through, and we'll dry it off, and that's it, right? It's that simple, right? I have Pokemon Pinball taken apart already, and you can do the same thing. We'll just go across you could see all the connectors there. This one looks really good. I tested this one before, and it worked just fine. So that's the easy tip. Anybody can do that, no problem. The second one, well, that might take some tools. You see, Pokemon Pinball here, Wario Land as well, have internal clock batteries, okay? So these are, 1616s? Yeah, Panasonic 1616s. So you can imagine, these are old. The date on this circuit board is 1988, so battery's old. Most of these don't hold charges. Some do. Some are finicky. Unfortunately, I recently lost the original save to my Pokemon Red because of a battery. I didn't replace it in time. So I want to make sure that when my kids get both of these, they have good working batteries. Now, you might have noticed, and I'm going to move some stuff around here so you'll hear it, the screws on Game Boy cartridges and Nintendo cartridges and other ones aren't exactly a traditional Phillips flathead or Robinson bit, okay? These are game bits. Here's a set of example of game bits 4.5 and 3.8. You can get these from iFixit, most game repair places, and it'll easily go on there, and I need the smaller one, 3.5, and then you can go here and unscrew this. You could tell I've been here before in preparation of the video. That's why this screw is hand tight. When the screw's out, it just slides down, and then there you go. There's the board. So let's prepare this and get it ready to solder. Now, if you wanted to save, right? So once we remove the battery, the game state is done. Everything erases from it. If you wanted to save that game state, there's a couple things you can do. There are USB devices where you can back this up to a computer. That is a very excellent choice. Does cost some money, though. You got to watch out for that. You could, I think it's, look it up. I'm not going to tell you. I forget which pins, but you could apply voltage to these pins, right? And then that will power the board while you unsolder this. I also did a video, and I'll have a link to it below, where I hooked this up to a Game Boy Advance because it's lower profile, the cartridge sticks out. I turned it on, right? So the game was running, and then I carefully desoldered and replaced the battery there. So multiple options depending on your comfort level. So obviously we need to solder it, so I have solder wick so we can remove the old one. And note the orientation of the battery cell. Negative here, positive here. So we're going to just lay our new battery next to it, and we're going to get to work. All right, so the old battery is removed. I find it a very good habit when you get the old battery out, if you don't throw it away immediately, bend the feet on it so it is obviously junk. The last thing you want to do is remove this and then put it back on, right? That kind of defeats the whole purpose, right? So we'll put this way out of the way, and we get our new coin cell. So the side with the printing on it, that is the positive. Positive is over here, negative is over here. Let me just look and verify. Yep, you can never be too safe. I already did clean, but we'll clean again. All right, so this would go in this orientation here. So we're just going to put a little bit down. Let me turn my, oops, that's down. Turn the temperature up just a little bit. And let's get this on here. So I like to put a little bit on the pad first. We will put the battery down, and then we'll melt the solder on to it. There you go. So Wario Land is on. Now we're going to do a quick test. I'm not going to screw the case shut, but I will slide everything on. Skip my Game Boy. There we go. Okay, so it does work. That's good. No saved files because we pulled the battery out. Now, it's been a long time since I played Wario. When do I need to save so we can test this? Okay, well, I'm not going to go play through the whole level, but it does work. So I feel pretty confident with that one. And then I'm not going to do Pokemon Pinball on camera because it's the same procedure, but I do want to let you know that, you know, some of these, especially Pokemon Pinball or any other cart with the rumble pack on it, you want to be careful because these wires are very thin, very fragile. You could desolder those or just carefully lay it out like this and then obviously test it. If the rumble pack doesn't work, then you either nick the wires or the solder came off or something. While you have it down this far, if the pack does have a battery in it, not the replaceable batteries, a AAA for the rumble, just clean out here. Make sure there's no corrosion on the spring or the contacts, just so that way they, you know, conduct well and you get a lot of life out of this. So, hey, that's it. I'm going to wrap this up. I wanted this to be a quick little tip video. Even if you're not giving a cartridge-based game during the holiday season, you can use this any time of year. And realistically, the easiest thing is just get some isopropyl alcohol. Remember, the highest percentage, that is what you want. When you get around 70, there's a little more water in there, and you really want to make sure you dry those contacts up. But the higher the percentage, man, I'll use this, put it on the contacts. Sometimes I won't even wipe them off. I'll let them air dry. That's how comfortable I am with at least 91%. Well, that's going to wrap this up. As always, if you like what we're doing here at Retro Tech or Die, like, subscribe, tell your friends, and we'll catch you next time.